Imagine a country so divided that it tears itself in two, not because of one event, but because of decades of disagreements, tensions, and choices that pushed Americans further and further apart. This is the story of how the United States reached its breaking point and how the Civil War began. Long before the first shot was fired, the North and South were drifting apart. This growing divide is called sectionalism, when different parts of a country develop their own identities and interests. The North with their factories, railroads, and growing cities, versus the South with their agriculture and enslaved labor. They clashed over things like slavery, economics, and states' rights. The idea that states should make their own decisions, even if they disagreed with the federal government. Every compromise meant to calm things down, only made the arguments louder. In 1820, the Missouri Compromise tried to keep the peace by balancing free and slave states. Missouri entered as a slave state, Maine entered as a free state, and a line, 3630, was drawn across the Louisiana Territory. Slavery allowed below the line, but banned above it. It was like putting a piece of tape on the floor and saying, "Stay on your side." It worked. For a while. But by 1850, the country had grown, and the old rules weren't enough. The Compromise of 1850 tried to settle new arguments. California entered as a free state, some territories could decide for themselves then whether to allow slavery, and the most controversial part, the Fugitive Slave Act. This law required escaped enslaved people to be returned to the South, even if they had reached a free state. People in the North were furious. Many refused to follow the law, and tensions between the North and South grew even stronger. Then, in 1852, Harriet Beecher Stowe published Uncle Tom's Cabin, a novel that revealed the harsh realities of slavery. It shocked readers and fueled the abolition movement. Then the Kansas-Nebraska Act of 1854 let settlers vote on whether their territory would allow slavery. Violence broke out, a period known as Bleeding Kansas. A few years later, in 1857, the Dred Scott decision ruled that enslaved people were not citizens and had no rights in court. This pushed the nation even closer to conflict. Then, in 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected president. Southern states feared he would stop the spread of slavery. One by one, they seceded, meaning that they left the United States and formed the Confederate States of America. They chose Jefferson Davis as their president. Two sides, two governments, one nation split apart. The Civil War was shaped by powerful leaders. Abraham Lincoln, President of the United States, determined to preserve the Union. Ulysses S. Grant, a Union general known for his determination and strategy. Robert E. Lee, a Confederate general respected for his leadership. Thomas Stonewall Jackson, another Confederate general known for standing firm in battle. Harriet Tubman, a hero of the Underground Railroad who also served as a spy for the Union. And Frederick Douglass, a powerful voice for abolition and equality. The war began in 1861 at Fort Sumter in Charleston, South Carolina. Battles erupted across the country for 4 long years. In 1863, Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring enslaved people in Confederate states free and giving the war a new purpose. In 1865, the Confederacy surrendered. The Civil War was over, but rebuilding the nation was just beginning. After the war, the United States entered a period called Reconstruction, a time to rebuild and redefine freedom. The 13th Amendment ended slavery, the 14th Amendment granted citizenship, and the 15th Amendment protected voting rights for African Americans. Reconstruction was challenging and far from perfect, but it reshaped the nation and set the stage for future civil rights movements. The Civil War changed the United States forever. By understanding how the nation divided and how it came back together, we learn what it takes to build a stronger future.